I'm going to be showing you how to create some seagrass. I've created a sand dune here for you. I'm going to be using the fan brush. I've just loaded with a little bit of blue and green, so phthalic blue and sap green. And I'm using just the corner of the brush, and I'm just tapping with it, or touching. Now if I go on top of this hill that I've created here, and start tapping, touching with very light pressure. This paint is still wet on this canvas, so it will change the values quite quickly. But you see what I'm doing? I'm moving my arm up and down as I go, so I automatically have an uneven shape. Then I can take this down. There's a lot of ivy or smaller shoots of the seagrass that are coming down from the top or throughout the seagrass. So if I touch the angle that I've created in my shadow of the sand, it accentuates that shape. Now maybe there's some more that lives here. Maybe it's coming down here too, and it's a long one. You want to always think of different lengths, different sizes, different shapes. Everything is uneven. I think I'll make a great big one here, just to finish that off. Now I'm only using the edge or the corner, just this little tiny edge right here. If you use more than that, you get a different effect. If I were to hold it like this, here's my side view, and just touch, and you get lines. It's a different way of doing it. They look like strands of leaves sticking up. Now we have to get a little bit darker color so you can see that better. Here we go. So experiment with it. Change your angle of your brush. Tilt it different ways, use different parts of the brush, whatever, just have fun, live it up. As long as the top is uneven, the bottom's uneven, the different lengths of the baby ivy shoots are uneven, you're doing fine. And with oil-based paints, always start with the dark in order for the highlights to show up. I'm going to wipe off my brush on a paper towel. And I'm just cleaning a little bit of linseed oil. And if I take just the edge of the bottom of some of this foliage and blend it in by pressing just on the edge over top of the sand color I've placed in here, it adds a shadow. And that way, now it looks like the grass is actually growing up through the sand, as opposed to it looking like it's floating, not attached. Now you only want to do or grab a smidgen of this edge. If you grab too much, like from here down, you're going to change the texture. You're going to actually disappear all that hard work you just did. You're going to cause it to go away. But see how I'm brushing in the direction of what I'm trying to create. I may go to the bottom right of this and just grab a little bit of that. And of course, if you don't like something, you can easily make it go away. When it's wet, very easy. There we go. Excuse me. Now what I'm doing now is I'm touching from the sand that hasn't been touched, and I'm wiggling, pushing that green upwards. If I take too much of it, that's one way to bring back the sand again. Now I'm just blending a little bit more of what I started to pull down by patting it, still with the corner of my brush. That softens it. And I'll show you how you can add a little bit of some highlights too. A little bit of yellow and white. I'm accentuating the highlights so you can see this better. But you can mix green up with lighter colors of lighter shades of yellow to make it a light green. Now all I'm doing is touching what I did before, making it look like the sun is shining on it. Excuse me. And I'm using parts of my brush that I used before, mainly the corner, because I'm tapping and moving my arm instead of staying in the same spot constantly. I can still see through the paint and see the darker value. That keeps the depth. I'm adding a little highlight to the ivy shoots. Just a little light pressure. I can't stress that enough. And of course you want to give your foliage some Miracle-Gro. In other words, you want to go higher up than what you've created with a darker color, so it looks like the sun's shining on it. Make sure you hit the outside edges too. And that's how you create some seagrass and ivy shoots.